Alright, everybody. SimCity 2000. It has been, I think, like 7 years since we've done this LP. We're going to have some fun here. We're going to be playing, not with, like, the cheaty, exploitive, 20%, 0% tax at all. We're going to be playing on hard, though. Oops. New city in 1900s on hard. That means you start with a 10,000 loan. And we have to build up a thriving city while under the pressure of interest. Also, under the pressure of having all of our, plants, blow up within 50 years. So there's a lot going on here to make it difficult. Welcome, everybody, to Ultra Fucked City. With me, your Mayor Mal. Groundwork is laid. Let's get it going here, right? Alright, everybody, so welcome to the map. This is what our city's going to look like. Now, basically, to win on hard, you really need to play pretty aggressively, giving the minimal services needed to make your Sims, happy. So you create residential, commercial, and industrial need. Residential, places where people live. Commercial is where retail lives, as well as logistics and whatnot. Industry is basically the businesses that produce things. So that's SimCity as a whole. And hard throws an additional wrench in by having the industry needs of a city collapse, called a depression, where things aren't in demand, things are thrown out of whack. So you have to figure out a way to combat all these things and adjust your taxes constantly. It's actually really difficult. But I think we can beat it here, so let's go ahead and get started. First things first, we need to go ahead and start getting approved for loans. So, to do that, if you're going to take a look here at the loans, right now our loan rating is F. F for fucked. That means we can only have one bond out at 10,000. Our bond rate is currently 3%. We want to get a whole shitload of bonds here, like pretty much 3, 2, and 1%. You can get low bonds whenever the industry collapses, on a city. The depressions happen, so you can take advantage of the banks. That's our plan. So, first off, in order to raise our rating, we have to raise the value of our city. So we need power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What we're gonna do is we're going to go for 10 of these hydroelectrics. That's going to produce 200 watts. It's pretty expensive, but it lasts forever, won't explode on you, after 50 years. Let's just tie them all together real quick. Now, let's take a look at our money. Ah, now we have a AAA rating. Isn't that interesting? And our city's value is 36 million. Well, how the hell did it get so high? Well, that's awesome. We have a 4% bond, which we'll definitely need. So let's go ahead and take that bond. Yeah. Oh, that's a 5% bond. We don't want that one per se. So let's go ahead and say done for right now. Now that we have that 14 grand, we can actually start thinking about producing more in our city here. We're going to want to do, like I said, the minimal amount to get this city up and going. And we're going to have densely populated cities so that we save on road maintenance. So let's go ahead and get some more power. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll put all these hydroelectrics down. There we go. Now we pretty much have 400 watts of infinite power to play with, as long as disasters don't happen. So there we go. And disasters are currently on, so if those happen, I get fucked so bad, and it probably just means a game over, unless it doesn't happen to my power plants, and then we can deal with it. Alright, so let's check in our money now. Show bonds. Oh yeah. So we have a AA rating, with our city being 47 million now. If we wanted to, we could issue another bond at 5%, but we don't want that now. We want to wait until, the industry just collapses super bad. So to build things efficiently, you want to leave a space of 3 tiles for all of your city parts. See? 3 spaces, that means shit can go there pretty easily. These tiles along the waterfronts here are worth way more. So, one cool thing is that water pumps, if placed in front of dams, actually still count as though they're connected to a fresh water source. So they should produce, I think, what is it? Yes, quite a bit. So look at that. 33,000, 33,000, 41,000. Yeah. Whereas if we put a water pump, you know, let's just say right out here. Oh, 0 gallons because no electricity. Whoops. There we go. See how that is? Only like, 19,000 gallons, so it's pretty shitty. So that was a $100, example for you guys. Let's go ahead and continue to build this road. Now, property along here, along the fronts, this stuff is worth a lot more. So we're going to want to make sure we cover this beachfront property as well as we can. There we go. And there we go. That should cover most of it. And then right along here, we'll go over here like so. Like this, and then we're going to go straight down. And start divvying this up really well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 7th one, you can kind of go in here. As long as it's 3 away, you can build that, and it's really nice. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pause here, lay out my zoning, and explain it to you what's going on. Alright, so here's an example of the zoning that we're going to do. You want to pretty much zone double the amount of residential that you do for industry. And then you want even less commercial than that. Now, commercial I probably went a little overboard for. Sometimes I have difficulty measuring that in the beginning. Later on, everything's going to be a lot more equal, and you'll probably actually have more commercial than industry. But for right now, this is kind of close as to what you're going to be looking at. I went ahead and placed the piping here. So we have piping everywhere we need. There we go. Looking good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start placing our power lines, and we're going to need to spend all of our money. Because right now, as you can probably tell, we're in debt, $641 a year, so that's going to be shitty. So we want to spend all our money before it gets spent just on interest. I usually like to go a little heavier on the power lines just so that you have an explosion of growth. Like, this city is seriously going to appear, overnight at this place. Second thing you need to really do is you want to consider land value. You want to make these places still desirable enough to move into and to make sure that people don't move out. Whenever they move out, that means you're losing money. So we're going to start with some big parks. It's just enough to make people not move out usually. So, and since we don't need as much commercial, there we go. That should be pretty good. Plus all this beachfront property is awesome for land value. So that's good enough. Alright, we spent most of our money here zoning everything out. The only thing we need to worry about at this moment is just some piping, the power, and maybe a park, if we have the cash for it. So for right now, let's just wire everything up. We have plenty of places to work. One thing to consider too, in the beginning, dense industry and residential industry and commercial, they don't like each other because industry pollutes everything around it. However, you want things close to each other like this and kind of modular because you want them to be able to get to one another. Roads don't allow people to travel all that far, so the way I've done these connections, like, they can kind of get to where they need to go. But if you have failed trips, basically each tile looks to see if it can travel to another tile of either residential or commercial or industrial. If it fails those trips too often, that's another reason why your buildings can get abandoned. They can't get to one another. So, with that being said, I think we are ready to go live. I just want to put the piping in, because you want to make sure these buildings do stay happy. Water and electricity is pretty much the bare bone basics. There we go. That should be good enough. They should all be connected. There we go. There we are, and let's double check the power lines. You always want to make sure you're doing well on that. I think that's it. We definitely have enough water. Everything else. Let's just put a little bit more dense right here. Now, no services to start. And that's because, well, I mean, we're poor. We're dirt poor. Anyways, wish us luck. Cheetah, let's build. There we go. Explosion. Haha! September, October, November. There we go. Having some big stuff come in here. Alright. So we're at 7%. He wants to raise taxes. He's going to tell us these bonds are killing us. So let's show the bonds. We have a 4% bond. We'll definitely take it. We do not want a 5%. Alright, so now we're looking at 1,000 debt. You might be thinking, oh my god, dude, this is ever going to end. Well, you need to build basically past a tipping point in the beginning. And that tipping point, you know, it's going to be a critical mass where you're zoning out the entire area with dense buildings. You're really going to start getting a lot of your value. See, a lot of these buildings aren't even finished yet. They take a while to build. And we want to make them stick around, like some parks, basic services, only putting down firefighters and, you know, stuff while you need it. Education, we're not going to invest in all that much. So, alright, it awakens, which means we get this nice little number. The mayor's house, which raises the land value of people around it. So you definitely want that. Lakefront property does the same thing. We'll do another big park. Probably right on the borders here of what we can do. And now we're going to continue making this into a nice little town here with our extra cash at 4%. See, we avoided the 5% loan from before. So now what we're going to do is kind of expand our little valley town out into here, through here, maybe go through this hill. If not, we might even cross over to here since there's a big canvas of land over there. Alright, let me set it up. Alright, so here's the expansion plan. Leading from our current areas. We're going into this little lakefront area, to this valley back here. Another lake. Another park leading back here. And then this valley should do really nicely. I might even sneak a road actually through here before I forget. Yeah, just through here. So we have a lot more room. And then yeah, all we gotta do is put down some power. Maybe think about another park. You know, we could even put some parks back here. But that lake really does a lot, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, and yeah, that's really it here. We're going to continue building up. Oh, right, one more thing. Here we do want more electricity. Probably about half as much as we had before. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, and 5. And then what we want to do is put some water pumps in front of them. 3, 4, and 5. Now we'll put down the plants. We might not have enough money for this, so you got to be careful. Next, we'll connect the pipes. Let's go around. There we go. Oops. Alright, so there we go, and then we just need to connect up the power. This will be a little bit tight. There we go. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 more dams. And we should be able to connect this stuff up just fine. Alright, let's zip on down here. No raised wires. There's 12. There we go. And we just need to get across here, damn it. Okay, 41 bucks left. There we go, there we go. Let me just make sure everything is linked. I think that'll be it. Do we have some here? There we go. That'll be good. Alright, cheetah it up. Explosion of growth again. Yeah. Now let's see what we're looking like this January. Okay, 680. See? We aren't even fully grown yet, and we're already doing pretty well. Okay, we still have a 5% bond, so I'm going to hold off. Growth is still normalizing, man. It's still great. Next we'll have to figure out some services here, but... yeah, that's right. So with that, we can actually pause and put a city hall. Let's put city hall right there. That'll be great. Llama it the hell up. There we go. We're almost breaking even. We're going to wait a little bit more and see the worth of these things. It's a lot more. It's like 3 times what like a normal residential would be. But with it being abandoned, how much is it worth? 75. So it's a little bit less. I have no advice this time, but we're actually breaking even now. So let's take a look. Looks like we are actually running out of power. 5%. No, I don't quite want that just yet. And the people are crying out for industry. So what we can do is we'll have industry taxed a little bit. $480 megs. Alright, we don't have any money for building any other lines, so let's go ahead and just cheetah through this shit. Industry demand should definitely go down as we're taxing it a bit more. Yeah, there we go. Very good. Alright, so we can pop up tax just a bit. Get out of debt a little bit faster. We'll suffer some abandonment rates. You know, that's to be expected. Now, industry is at 10% tax, so we definitely need to be careful. There we go. So yeah, we're 900 above. We're almost there. Let's keep it going for another year. We'll see some more abandonment, some downgrades. But it's a little bit of a metropolis going on here. Alright, so let's go back down to normal growth. And let's make it to where we're still breaking even. Actually, we can even take a hit and be fine. So, let's pause. And all we need to do is snake another hydro in here. 20 watts might be all we need in this situation. There we go. Now let's make sure our piping's good, because I think we need some pipes over here. And everything's connected over here. It's always kind of weird with the higher terrain. Okay. There we go. And we're just going to snake these things along here. We'll be a tiny bit in debt, but the city will come back. Okay. Let's cheetah this shit up. And let's double check our piping situation. Definitely need some more water. We'll build that next. Okay, so commercial now is pretty high. So that's going to give us 3. I'm going to go up 8 and then settle down at 6. Hurricane warning. So we still have some buildings over here suffering? Yeah. Okay, we got some cash. So let's go back down to 6. We got to play at those taxes here. So we need a little bit more power before we can do too much else. So water, power plants, and let's double check here on our loans. What do we have? 5%, no thanks. Alright, so let's go for a power line. There we go. And we need just a touch of commercial here to keep blending in. So let's do 40. Cheetah. There we go. Okay, we'll go up to 7. We're gonna build up a little bit more. Just what the city needs. Yeah. All right. There we go. So let's go ahead and make sure here. Okay, so we need some more power. What's our options? 5%, no thanks. Soon, though, we're going to enter a depression. And that is actually going to help our cause a lot, because we'll be able to take advantage of it, because, guess what? Federal interest rates go down in a depression. So, here is our city here from the skyline view. Not bad. We have skyscrapers already. We're building up. Things are looking good. Our wealth is already overcoming the grand deficit that we're racking up. We'll continue to build electricity, even if it takes a few years. And boom, we will be rocking and rolling on SimCity 2000. See you on the next one.